What is bailment? That we have learned in detail. It is delivery of goods by one person to another for some purpose upon a contract that they shall, when the purpose is accomplished, be returned or otherwise disposed of according to the directions of the person delivering it. Right? चलिए, ये हो गया हमारा डेफिनेशन, ये हो गया फर्स्ट पार्ट हमारा कंप्लीट. दैट्स ऑलरेडी बीन डिस्कस्ड इन नाइस डिटेल. Explain the rights and duties of a bailor. Oh my god, this is wonderful, huge question. So this is a typical 8 marker. So rights and duties of bailor. So we'll write rights and duties of bailor, and trust me, once rights and duties of bailor are done, majority of the things are sorted in this chapter. Right. So beginning with rights and duties of bailor, फर्स्ट हम लोग शुरू करेंगे राइट्स और ड्यूटीज में से. सबसे पहले क्या शुरू करना है? राइट शुरू कर देते हैं. राइट्स ऑफ बेलर. बेलर अभी तक हम लोग समझ गए थे, पर्सन हु इज डिलीवरिंग गुड्स सिस्टम इज बेलर. सो आई विल स्टार्ट विद सेक्शन 151, right? One of the primary sections dealing with negligence. Right. So what we'll be discussing over here under the heading negligence. Right. So 151 very clearly states if due to negligence on part of bailee, the bailor suffers a loss, then bailee is responsible to make good such loss. ठीक है. अभी अगर हम देखें, due to negligence part of bailee, the bailor suffers a loss, then the bailee is responsible to make good such loss. तो negligence का एक बहुत मस्त हॉस्पिटल वाला केस ले लेते हैं. I'll take case over here. यानी the bailee has to take necessary care of the goods billed to him. तो चलते हैं यहाँ. Let us say Mr. Ayush once again right, he goes to a hospital for some kind of a minor treatment. So generally, as we know, hospital people say during kind of some, even if it is a trivial or a small surgery, you have to keep all your jewelries aside. So Ayush was wearing a chain, certain ring, तो सब निकाल के he gave it to the hospital staff, right? Generally, hospital staff says, you keep the jewelry with you, we are not responsible. This hospital that Ayush went to is one next level hospital, right? ये real life case है, बहुत पुराना UK का case है, right? So the hospital staff took the jewelry, along with them, and after Ayush's operation and whatever little surgery was there was done, the hospital staff, instead of giving back the jewelry, gave back a sorry, stating that the jewelry was lost. Over here, due to the negligence of the bailee, the hospital is the bailee, the hospital staff are nothing but the agents of the bailee who took the work of keeping the jewelry aside in safe custody till the operation or the surgery is performed and Ayush is back to his feet and can be discharged from the hospital. They took the jewelry and they lost it. It's a clear cut case of negligence on their part. So, over here, if due to the negligence on a part of the bailee, the bailer suffers a loss. Did Ayush suffer a loss? Yes. Then the bailee is responsible to make good such loss. तो केस फाइल कर दिया आयुष ने एंड द हॉस्पिटल पीपल आर लायबल टू मेक गुड सच अ लॉस. तो ये हो गया हमारा नेग्लिजेंस का एक सेक्शन जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं 151. इसमें बहुत सारे पार्ट सब पार्ट कोल्डमैन वर्सेस हिल एंड मोर डिफिकल्ट केसेस आर देयर, but you have to just keep an eye when you're reading the case. If the bailee has taken necessary care, what kind of care is expected out of bailee, वो भी मैं यहाँ लिख देता हूँ कि नेग्लिजेंस वर्ड को हम लोग कैसे डिफाइन करेंगे एंड व्हाट इज गुड केयर. तो वो हम लोग समझने की ट्राई करते हैं बिफोर वी मूव अहेड टू द राइट्स ऑफ द बेलर. पॉइंट नंबर 2, फर्स्ट राइट ओवर हियर, द bailee should take reasonable care of the goods as a person of ordinary prudence would do in his own case for the goods of same bulk and value. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, राइट? तो मानो कि मैं आपको एक ऐसी केस दे देता हूं बिना लिखे, जस्ट लिसन वेरी केयरफुली दैट लेट अस से आई गेव यू सर्टेन ज्वेलरी, ठीक है, फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ सेफ कस्टडी. मैं जा रहा हूं कहीं फॉरेन ट्रिप के लिए, तो मैंने आपको रख दी ज्वेलरी टू माय फ्रेंड, गुड फ्रेंड. एक आता है ग्रेटिट्यूड बेलमेंट, आई विल कम टू दैट, डोंट वरी. तो ये भी पॉसिबल है जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं बेलमेंट विदाउट रिवॉर्ड, राइट? सो आई गेव सर्टेन ज्वेलरी टू यू and obviously I told I'll come back after 15 days from a foreign trip. You keep the jewelry safely enough, right? So over here, if you are keeping your jewelry in the locker, I also expect that my jewelry also should be kept in the same locker in a similar manner. Am I right? So instead of keeping in the locker, just because it's my jewelry, you kept it in the garage, right? And the box got stolen. Over here, isn't it a clear-cut case of negligence on your part, my dear friend? Yes. So are you responsible as a bailee to reimburse me or compensate me, indemnify me for the loss caused due to your negligence? The answer is yes. Now, the thing is that if you kept the jewelry in a locker and robbers broke into your house, you have kept it as a person of ordinary prudence would do in his own case for goods of same bulk and value. So you kept the jewelry safe enough, but the robbers broke into your house and lifted up the jewelry. Now over here, did you act as a person of ordinary prudence? My answer is yes. Were you negligent? No. Are you responsible to make good the loss? The answer is no, you are not responsible in this case. So it is very, very important. How do you define that negligence? So the bailee should take reasonable care of the goods as a person of ordinary prudence would do in his own case for the goods of same bulk and value. Keep that in mind for section 151. Hope that's very, very clear. Now coming on to section 153, that is the second right you'll be discussing. Section 153, right? Now this is a very important section on termination. So bailer can, first we learned in case of negligence of the bailee, second termination for unauthorized use of goods by the bailee, right? So now in this, let us learn what do you mean by termination for unauthorized use. Let us say sir gave a car to Mr. Sunil to be taken from Bangalore to Mangalore. Who's going to drive the car? Obviously Mr. Sunil, right? So I have given the car on hire. ये भी एक हो गया contract of bailment, मैंने गाड़ी दे दी. So the car is taken on hire. Now Mr. Sunil, instead of taking it to Mangalore, Mr. Sunil went from Bangalore to Vizag. मतलब कहाँ का बोला था और कहाँ चले गए पता नहीं. So is this unauthorized use? The answer is yes. It is a clear-cut case of unauthorized use. And Mr. Sunil will say, देखो कार को कुछ नहीं हुआ. It's completely fine. I drove it so well. Right? I'm one of the best persons to drive the car on planet Earth. Very good. But was the use unauthorized? My answer is yes, the use was unauthorized. Do I have a right to cut the contract, cancel the contract? The answer is yes, I can terminate for unauthorized use. Now, along with this, I would like to take another point on the same lines, that is another right. It is section 154, right? That is, this is completely linked to 153, right? To claim damages from the bailee for any loss arising out of अभी हमने क्या पढ़ा? Arising out of unauthorized use of goods. कौन से goods? So bailed, right? So let us say Mr. Sunil had to go to Mangalore. He didn't. He rather went to Vizag. ठीक है, अच्छी बात है. Unauthorized use हो गया. And more than that, our one of the world's best driver met an accident, right? और कार को खड्डे में डाल दिया. Engine got damaged, the chassis got damaged, the headlamps, the windscreen, everything got damaged. So over here, not only it is a clear-cut case of unauthorized use, more than there was a loss arising out of unauthorized use. So 153 I'll apply and cancel the contract, and more than that I have a right to claim damages for the loss arising out of unauthorized use. So one, I can cancel it for unauthorized use. Damages can be claimed if there is some kind of a loss due to such unauthorized use. So yahan, so if the car has suffered any damages, can I claim for that? Yes, I can claim for that as well. So that is section 154. Very, very simple. Always club 153, 154 for easier understanding. Right. Now, we come to the next point, what we call the mixing up. And mixing up is technically three sections, 155, 156, 157. So I'll be dealing with 156 over here and 157 over here. First, we need to understand 155 for the purpose, though a little out of context over here. एग्जैक्टली राइट स्केटिंग में नहीं आएगा, उसीलिए यहाँ मैं थोड़ा डिस्कस कर लेता हूँ। 155 says the Bailey सबसे पहली बात है, द बेली कैनॉट मिक्स हिज ओन गुड्स विद द गुड्स दैट हैव बीन बेल्ड टू हिम। यानी इफ यू हैव रिसीव्ड एज एनी गुड्स एज अ बेली, यू आर नॉट सपोज टू मिक्स योर ओन गुड्स विद द बेल्ड गुड्स, राइट? सो बट 155 very clearly states the Bailey can mix the goods कौन से गुड्स? बेल्ड गुड्स with his own goods with the क्या भाई? consent of the baler, right? So he can mix the goods with the consent of the baler, and the mixture would be shared proportionately राइट? मजाक की बात है, चलो कि मानो आई हैव गिवन यू सम फ्राइड दाल, राइट? चना दाल या मूंग दाल, and we mix it both, we have a mixture, right? That we can eat for any time of breakfast or just as a biting. Now if I have given you 300 grams of chana dal and 200 grams of moong dal you have mixed, we'll share it as 300 gram of mixture is mine, 200 gram of mixture is yours. चलो मजाक की बात खत्म हुई. But obviously if you look at the section, it is trying to say the similar thing, or you can pre-decide the ratio in which the mixture would be distributed, right? Obviously if I bring 300 grams of chana dal, you bring 200 grams of kaju and we mix it, cashew nut I'm trying to talk about, right? And chana dal is nothing but gram dal for people who are not very conversant with any bit of culinary knowledge. Now, fair enough, no jokes. Now, obviously, cashew nuts are much more expensive, so we can have a pre-decided ratio. 400 grams or maybe 300 grams would go to you, and 200 grams would come to me. If no ratio is pre-decided, you have to share it proportionately, right? So that is what 155 says. Right, now what does 156 have to talk all about over here? So section 156 says this is now all without consent, right? So if the Bailey without the consent of the baler, stop thinking about the above things, kaju and chana dal and what we'll do with that mixture, right? If the Bailey without the consent of the baler has mixed his own goods with the goods so baled, yes it worked, and the goods are separable, तब क्या होगा भाई? In that case the cost of separation would be, साथ साथ लिखो, borne by the Bailey. भाई भूल उसकी थी, yield bear, right? Let us take up an example. Sir delivered certain 100 bags of brown sugar. Yes, you got it right. ये baking वाला brown sugar है. I know you don't have any other thoughts in mind. Fair enough, right? So brown sugar किसको दिया भाई हमने? मिस्टर वरद को. Varad is who is having a warehouse, right? So warehouse owner है ये. He also has his own goods, own brown sugar bags, right? So he had certain, say, 350 bags belonging to Mr. Varad, and he mixed my 100 bags, but they were in gunny bags, right? Large gunny bags. So he stacked the bags, mixed it up. थोड़े यहाँ डाल दिए, थोड़े वहाँ डाल दिए. So over here, while I have to take it, obviously that's a big warehouse, 100 bags of brown sugar, and they have to be collected from different parts of the warehouse. I don't know where my bag would be lying, right? So over here, the cost of separation in such case would be borne by the bailey. यानी कौन पैसे भरेगा? मिस्टर वरद पैसे भरेंगे. The cost of separation. So we'll deploy some workers over there in order to separate the bags, and that particular cost of separation has to be borne by Mr. Varad. Now that is 156 for you. Now going ahead a little, we'll go to section 157. 157 runs on similar lines. Now 157 says, section 157, right? I'll just put one word. Everything is same as in 156. 156 says, if the bailee without the consent of the bailer has mixed his own goods with the goods so bailed, and the goods are separable, right? यहाँ क्या आएगा? The goods are not separable. खाली एक ही चीज है फर्क. The goods are not separable, right? Let us say sir brings in certain 125 kgs of rice, loose rice, right? It's not packed. And Bharat does some 250 kgs of loose wheat, right? It's lying in the go down. So there is a large mound of wheat, and this gentleman, I come and give him a 100 kgs of rice, 125 kgs of rice, right? It's in a barrel. This legend, Mr. Varad, empties the barrel, right? Is a legend for a reason. He emptied the entire barrel over here, loose rice. He could have kept a separate mound for it, but he didn't. Now rice and wheat have got mixed. कौन separate करेगा? किस में है इतना दम, right? So who will separate each grain of rice and wheat? Not possible, right? So over here the law says, though you may take a lot of time and do the job, but it's better to avoid such a job because the cost of separation would be greater than the cost of the goods, right? Anyways, the bailee in this case, the bailee needs to compensate the bailer for the cost of the goods, right? पूरा का पूरा 125 kgs of rice का cost bear करना पड़ेगा. Now you take rice, put wheat, make atta, khichdi, whatever you want. It is your headache. You give me my money and I'm done, right? So Mr. Varad in this case is liable for the entire cost of the goods because the goods are not separable, one thing, and that was done without the consent of the paler in this case, right? ठीक है. Now guys, going on to section 159. So 159, what does it have in store for us? Section 159. 159 section talks about premature termination of contract. Now, premature termination of contract is with respect to a particular type of bailment that is termed as the gratuitous bailment. This is the gratuitous bailment category that we're discussing over here. Now, first, before moving ahead, let me talk about a little about the gratuitous bailment and the non-gratuitous bailment. There are two types of bailment. Gratuitous is what we call is and generally an exception from the ongoing rule of consideration. Gratuitous bailment is when the bailment is done for the benefit of one party and the other party gets nothing in return. So जैसे कि एक एग्जाम्पल, आपको नोट्स चाहिए एग्जाम के लिए, ठीक है, आपने मेरी क्लास बंक मारी, आपको नोट्स चाहिए, so you go to a friend who has attended all the classes, you take notes from him, bro, give me notes, right? So he gives his book is goods over here, am I right? ठीक है, तो गुड्स आपको देता है, तो क्या हो गया? ग्रेटिटुअस बेलमेंट. उसका क्या फायदा हो रहा है? कुछ भी नहीं, राइट? दैट इज ग्रेटिटुअस बेलमेंट. व्हेन यू गो टू अ फ्रेंड एंड से ब्रो आई वांट अ बाइक, राइट, पता नहीं क्या काम है, कहीं घूमने जाना है अकेले होपफुली, तो वो क्या केस हो गया? ग्रेटिटुअस बेलमेंट का, राइट? फ्रेंड को क्या मिल रहा है? कुछ भी नहीं. नाउ ज्यादा मत सोचो और यहाँ ध्यान दो. सो प्री मैच्योर टर्मिनेशन ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, दैट इज बेलमेंट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट विच इज ग्रेटिटुअस इन नेचर, राइट? तो वो हो गया हमारा ग्रेटिटुअस बेलमेंट. तो ये बेलमेंट भी जिसको बोलते हैं विदाउट कंसिडरेशन वाले होते हैं. और आता है बाकी नॉन ग्रेटिटुअस बेलमेंट जो बहुत ही कॉमन होता है, जैसे कि टेलर को आपने कपड़ा दिया, शर्ट बना दो भाई इसकी. सो दैट इज व्हाट एन एग्जांपल ऑफ अ ग्रेटिटुअस बेलमेंट. व्हेन यू गिव द क्लॉथ टू द टेलर, ही हैज टू cut, stitch it into a shirt of your size and the design that you liked. So that is an example of non-gratuitous bailment, और जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं bailment for hire. कुरियर भेजा आपने, let us say Mr. Ayush sends a courier to Miss X, right? by कोई भी एक अपना कुरियर वाला कंपनी ढूंढ लेते हैं, तो कोई भी XYZ कुरियर के हिसाब से हमने भेज दिया एंड दैट वाज ऑन 12th of February. आयुष जी ने भेजा, वो क्या हो गया? वो भी हो गया हमारा नॉन ग्रेटिटुअस बेलमेंट, दैट इज बेलमेंट फॉर हायर. ठीक है, अब ज्यादा हंसते नहीं है, काम पे ध्यान देते हैं. तो ये हो गया प्री मैच्योर टर्मिनेशन की बात होगी, ग्रेटिटुअस बेलमेंट. लेट अस टेक अप अ कपल ऑफ एग्जांपल. अब आयुष मिल ही गया है, बकरा याद आ गया है, तो उसी को डाल देते हैं. लेट अस से मिस्टर आयुष, right, a rich fellow having one abandoned cycle gives the cycle to his friend. सर, एक abandoned पुरानी साइकिल पड़ी उसके पास, उसका एक गरीब दोस्त था जिसका नाम था सर कौन सर? भावेश सर, एक ही गरीब दोस्त है, ठीक है। तो ये साइकिल इन्होंने दी, राइट। नाउ दिस इज अ ग्रेटिट्यूअस बेलमेंट, ऐसे फ्री में दी, कितने टाइम पीरियड के लिए दी? मानो टाइम 3 months, right? So I wanted the cycle so I can rush to the classes, study properly, and save my traveling time. Now what happened over here? After 1 month, after 1 month, पता नहीं आयुष इज jealous of my better marks or something. So after 1 month आयुष ने बोल दिया सर मुझे साइकिल वापस चाहिए. So 3 months का टाइम पीरियड था, एंड आफ्टर 1 month ही डिमांड्स द साइकिल बैक. ठीक है, मुझे इस आदमी पे डाउट था ही पहले से. ही कैनॉट bear with my better marks, so he demands the cycle back. वो ऐसा नहीं बोला, he said I want my cycle back. Done. So over here, did he prematurely, क्या हमने टर्म यहाँ यूज किया भाई 159 में, prematurely terminating. So did he prematurely terminate the contract? Yes. Can he do it? Yes. Right. लेकिन ये हो गई राइट की बात. इट इज द राइट ऑफ द बेलर इन केस ऑफ अ ग्रेटिटुअस बेलमेंट, दैट इज विदाउट हायर. आयुष ने मेरी मदद की थी, ही हेल्प मी आउट, ही हैज अ राइट टू कैंसल द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ऑफ ग्रेटिटुअस बेलमेंट बिफोर द ड्यू डेट, राइट. तो 3 महीने का डेट देकर ही वांटेड टू कैंसिल इट मच इन एडवांस, ओनली आफ्टर 1 month, यानी 2 months ऑफ पेंडिंग. नाउ गाइज ओवर हियर, if I come to the, this is rights वाली बात, इसमें 159 में there is also duties perspective that I'll put over here itself, right? So there we can just refer, when we come to the duties portion we can just refer over here and close the deal. So once and for all the concept is clear. Let us say थोड़ा सा कहानी में twist देते हैं. I told you he had given me an abandoned cycle. After receiving the cycle, अबेंडेंट साइकिल दी थी, कोई अच्छी फर्स्ट क्लास साइकिल तो दी नहीं उसने. सो आई हैव टू गो फॉर रिपेयर्स. आफ्टर रिसीविंग द साइकिल फ्रॉम आयुष, सर conducted necessary repairs, sir conducted necessary repairs for the cycle, on the cycle. So which cost sir how much? It costs sir ₹900. गरीब आदमी के 900 रुपए चले गए, right? Keeping in mind I have to keep the cycle for 3 months, I spent $900 on that. So now over here the idea is, when Ayush is terminating, when the baler, in this case when baler कौन होता है? गुड्स देने वाला. So when the baler is prematurely terminating the contract, then he needs to compensate the bailee. अब यहां ध्यान देना, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है. he needs to compensate the bailee for any detriment incurred beyond the benefit, right? So when the bailer is prematurely terminating the contract, then he needs to compensate the bailee for any detriment incurred beyond the benefit that he has so received under such contract of gratuitous bailment, right? So अब यहाँ जो है कंप्यूटेशन थोड़ा सा डाइसी हो जाएगा, थोड़ा ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा अपने को, कैसे एक बार समझने की ट्राई करते हैं. नाउ let us say if this case goes to the court and I file a suit against Ayush. Court will ask me how much did you spend. I'll say 900 bucks I've spent. तो I cannot get entire 900 from Ayush. No, मुझे मुफ्त में साइकिल भी एक में बनानी, एक 1 month I've used the cycle, right? So let us put the scenario 1 over here, right? The court will do some calculation like this, right? So the court will say scenario 1, तो rent for cycle per day, rent per day for cycle कितना है, मानो रुपीज 30 मान के चले, नहीं 20 रखते हैं, ठीक है, या 25 रखते हैं. So rupees 25 is rent per cycle per day. If you take cycle on hire, how many days I used it? Let us say I used it for 1 month. 30 days into 25 कितना आता है, rupees 750, right? And how much did I spend on repairs? भाई देख लो यहाँ 900. Benefit how much I have received beyond the benefit so received, right? So कितना हुआ, net amount to be paid by, net amount to be paid by bailer, that is Ayush, to bailey. कितना आएगा भाई, बोल दो, बहुत इजी, इज रुपीज 150. 900 रुपए मैंने खर्च किया, 900 आई स्पेंड, 750 का बेनिफिट मुझे मिला है बाय यूजिंग द साइकिल फॉर फ्री. सो आई हैव अ लॉस, नेट लॉस ऑफ ओनली 150 देखा जाए तो आयुष विल पे मी हाउ मच, ओनली 150, राइट? सिनेरियो 2, दोज ओवर थिंकर्स लाइक मी, जिनको ज्यादा दिमाग चलने की बीमारी है, उनके लिए ये सेकंड सिनेरियो कितना भाई, रुपीज मानो 35 पर डे अगर रेंट हो, राइट? इम्प्यूटेड रेंट अगर 35 है तो 30 डेज इंटू 35 कितना आया, यहाँ आ गया रुपीज 1050. So the benefit received by Mr. Bailey, that is sir, is how much? Benefit received is how much? 1050. Benefit to Bailey, एक हजार 1050 का बेनिफिट मिला, ठीक है. And how much is the cost that I've incurred? 900, right? How much is the cost incurred? 900. कहाँ गया मेरा खर्चा, हाँ 900. I received a benefit of 1050. So my question is, will the Bailey was received 1050 benefit and incurred a cost of 900, will he pay to bailer? यानी क्या भावेश सर पेमेंट करेंगे 150 rupees to Ayush? The answer is a big no. देखो भाई क्या लिखा ऊपर मैंने, ये तो गरीब आदमी हूँ, फ्री में साइकिल मांग रहा हूँ, ऊपर से पैसे ले रहे हो मेरे पास से, पापी. नाउ व्हेन द बेलर is prematurely terminating the contract, then he needs to compensate the bailee for any detriment. क्या लिखा है, बेलर needs to compensate the bailee, उल्टा नहीं भाई, गरीब आदमी से पैसा नहीं लेते. Any detriment incurred beyond the benefit, right? So if this poor chap, that is Mr. Sir, has spent more money than the benefit he received, he can take that, जैसे हमने केस किया था 150 के साथ. But if he has got more benefit any which ways, Ayush was trying to give me a benefit, So if I have received anything more, भूल जाओ, नहीं मिलेगा, right? So this is a very interesting case under part 2 that we did, right? So इतने complex calculations generally पूछते नहीं एग्जाम में, पूछने चाहिए obviously, मजा आ जाए. So over here if we try to understand कि सिनेरियो 1 जो है, हाँ सिनेरियो 1 जो है, अरे भाई पेन चल जा, हाँ सिनेरियो 1, राइट. So over here if you notice 159 premature termination is the right in case of greater to as bailment, right? तो right किसका है, बेलर का, to prematurely terminate the contract, right? But in case in that premature termination, if the bailee has suffered, if the bailee has suffered any kind of a detriment beyond the benefit, he can claim it from the bailer, right? Not the other way around. If bailee has got more benefit, obviously he'll not give. So that is a scenario 1 classic case. So section 159 gets over. The right is to cancel and the duty is to make good the loss that the bailee has suffered in case of only gratuitous bailment. Sir 159 कहाँ apply होगा? only gratuitous bailment. देखो लिखा हुआ ऊपर gratuitous, लिखा नहीं लिखा, चलो तो in non-gratuitous cases this would not apply. Now let us from 159 section 159 समझने के बाद आगे बढ़ते हुए we'll do section 161. 160 and 161 are linked, तो मैं थोड़ा सा 160 भी डिस्कस करूंगा आपके साथ. तो 160 अलग कलर में डिस्कस करते हैं जो यहाँ नहीं आएगा एक्चुअली. तो सेक्शन 160 पहले डिस्कस करते हैं, प्रायर डिस्कशंस. So what does section 160 has to say, right? 160 says the bailee needs to return the goods back to the bailer on completion of task or if the said period of bailment is over, right? So it is the बेलीज ड्यूटी, बेलीज ड्यूटी, हम लोग बेलर का लिस्ट कर रहे हैं, करेक्ट, और वो भी अभी राइट्स का लिस्ट चल रहा है, बट दिस इज वेरी मच लिंक्ड. इट इज द ड्यूटी ऑफ द बेली टू रिटर्न बैक द गुड्स ऑन द कंप्लीशन ऑफ द टास्क और इफ द सेट पीरियड इज ओवर, यानी इफ द बेलमेंट पीरियड इज ओवर तो बेली को गुड्स रिटर्न कर देने हैं. एंड द बेलर ऑल्सो इज ड्यूटी बाउंड टू टेक बैक द गुड्स, राइट, फ्रॉम द बेली. दैट इज very clearly specified under section 160. What does 161 say? Right, that the bailer has a right to take any action if the bailee refuses to deliver the goods. So section 161 पे आ जाते हैं. The bailer has a right to take action. इसके सामने, बेली के सामने, if the bailee refuses to deliver the goods, right? तो ये हम लोग समझने की ट्राई करते हैं अभी. that सबसे पहले the bailee is duty bound to return back the goods on the completion of the task or after the bailment period is over, and the bailor is also duty bound to accept it as per one section 160. 161 क्या बोलता है? In case 160 में जो काम हमने डिसाइड किया था, दैट इज द रिटर्न बैक ऑफ द गुड्स, वो नहीं हुआ, राइट? एक एग्जांपल लेते हैं 161 के लिए. देन द बेलर हैज अ राइट टू टेक एक्शन. सीधा सीधा एग्जांपल ले लेता हूं यहाँ. नाउ sir has one old book. He gave it for the purpose of binding. राइट? बुक बाइंडिंग कराते हमारे जमाने में बहुत होता था स्कूल में, राइट? And our books were almost torn. Not that because we read it too much. Somehow we had all the knowledge and the insight to tear it apart. पता नहीं क्यों. तो सर ने बुक दे दी किसको? अंश बुक बाइंडर्स, राइट? So Mr. Ansh told, I'll get the book back. Let us say I gave the book on 3rd of January. In the same year, obviously, Ansh told he'll give the book back on 7th, yani 4 days. He'll bind the book and give it back to me. So he gave me a time period of 4 days within which I can come and take the delivery of the book, bind it nice and fine. So 7th Jan was the due date. यहाँ क्या है? सेट पीरियड क्या है भाई? 7th January है. तो 7th January को I have to get my book back. So as per section 160, Ansh, I expected him to honor the job on 7th January, but he failed to, right? Now what happens? Let us go a little further. He has still not delivered the books. On 9th, an incident occurred leading to destruction of book. तो मानो उसकी फैक्ट्री में आग लग गई हो, कोई फॉल्ट नहीं है जनाब का, इज नॉट एट फॉल्ट, राइट? इज नॉट एट ऑल एट फॉल्ट. तो यहां मेरा क्वेश्चन क्या है? माय क्वेश्चन इज वेरी सिंपल. वर यू बाउंड टू डिलीवर द बुक ऑन 7th Jan? यस. आग कब लगी? 9th Jan, राइट? नॉट बिकॉज ऑफ अंश's फॉल्ट. सम इलेक्ट्रिक शॉर्ट सर्किट हो गया, कुछ हो गया वायरिंग में और आग लग गई, and all the books got destroyed, and even the book that I gave got destroyed. Is Ansh liable? My answer is a big yes. Yes, Ansh is liable, right? Ansh is liable for the destruction of the book, not because he destroyed it, just because as per 160 he should have delivered it on time. So 161 says the bailor has the right to take action if the bailee refuses to deliver the goods, be it any reason. क्यों किया पता नहीं, right? और ये impossibility नहीं थी भाई, right? ऐसा नहीं था कि on 6th और on 5th मोदी जी ने आके बोल दिया मित्रों आज रात से लॉकडाउन हो गया है, right? So in that case I cannot blame him. तो बहुत क्लियरली बताया गया है. देखो 3 चीजें याद रखनी है व्हेन यू आर डिस्कसिंग सच थिंग्स. यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड 3 थिंग्स. 1 is act of God. What can stop the job and the person is not liable if that these incidents what I'm talking about happen before your due date of completion. तब आप इसमें रेफ्यूज ले सकते हो, जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं इम्पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ परफॉर्मेंस सेक्शन 56 पैरा 2 ऑफ द इंडियन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट 1872, राइट? एक है एक्ट ऑफ गॉड, दूसरा है एनिमीज ऑफ स्टेट, राइट? अनअवॉइडेबल इंसिडेंट. बहुत ब्रॉड कैटेगरी है थर्ड वन. सो लेट अस से अगर हम लोग यहाँ देखें कि भाई एक्ट ऑफ गॉड, एनिमीज ऑफ स्टेट एंड अनअवॉइडेबल इंसिडेंट्स की बात हो रही है, राइट? So if we notice over here, we can just tuck in some line over here. And let us say, third I gave the book on 5th, right? If there was a tsunami or something or a fire broke out due to which the press where the book binding and the other work was undertaken by Mr. Ansh got destroyed completely and my book got destroyed, कैन द बेलर डिमांड एनीथिंग? कुछ नहीं भाई, इसकी गलती नहीं है अंश की। यहाँ एनिमीज ऑफ स्टेट, मानो हमारे वंडरफुल नेबर्स ने मिसाइल छोड़ दिया एंड अल्टीमेटली इट केम टू इंडिया एंड इट्स मैक्ड इनटू अंश's प्रेस। खाली अंश के प्रेस में ही वो मिसाइल घुसी और पूरा का पूरा प्रेस डिस्ट्रॉय हो गया रात को, राइट? तो कैन द बेलर डिमांड, कैन सर डिमांड एनीथिंग फॉर द बुक सो डिस्ट्रॉयड? नो, एनिमीज ऑफ स्टेट था। अनअवॉइडेबल इंसिडेंट्स, राइट? रात को आके मोदी जी ने बोल दिया बस we have to have a lockdown, we need to fight against the virus, ठीक है, कुछ नहीं कर सकते, right? In that case also the delay, you cannot claim anything for that. तो unavoidable incident है which was necessary to, we had to adhere to the government orders and it was for the overall good. कोई बात ही नहीं हो सकती इसके ऊपर। तो अगर हम लोग यहाँ देखें तो in that scenario if any such thing has happened on 5th, it is not his negligence। बात हमने की थी सेक्शन 151 में नेग्लिजेंस की, नेग्लिजेंस तो है नहीं उसका, राइट? सो इफ any such thing has happened on 5th, is Ansh to be blamed? The answer is no. But if instead of 5th any of these things happened on 9th and he blames कि नहीं एक्ट ऑफ गॉड था, एनिमीज ऑफ स्टेट था, कहीं से कोई मिसाइल आके गिर गई on 9th, भाई तूने मुझे प्रॉमिस क्या किया था? यू प्रॉमिस 7th, सो यू कांट 7th के बाद 8th, 8th के बाद 9th। So 9th evening को कुछ इंसिडेंट हो रहा है, you are giving me a lame excuse on that front, right? So 161 very clearly states the bailor has a right to take action। यहाँ देखो हाईलाइट कर देते हैं अभी, the bailor कौन? मैं सर, has a right to take action against the bailee if he refuses to deliver the goods or fails to deliver the goods, right? और 160 में बहुत क्लियरली लिखा गया है on the completion of the task or the if the said period is over, said period खत्म हो गया था, टास्क तुमने कब बोला था? 7th को कंप्लीट करोगे, you didn't complete, so you are bound to return it back by the period so specified under the contract. If you fail to do so, any delay or any destruction or deterioration on goods, you are liable for the same. So यहाँ लास्ट एक लाइन लिख देते हैं in order to close. Thus if there is any, ये तो पेन बड़ी खतरनाक है ये, thus if there is any deterioration or destruction of goods after the due date, then the bailee is liable to compensate the bailor, right? So we notice over here कि हमने क्या देखा कि ये जो एक्ट ऑफ गॉड, एनिमीज ऑफ स्टेट, अनअवॉइडेबल इंसिडेंट्स जो हमारे सेक्शन 56 पारा 2 ऑफ इंडियन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट जनरल प्रिंसिपल्स में पड़े हुए हैं, दैट कैन नॉट बी यूज्ड एज अ रेफ्यूज। एक बार डिले हो गया उसके बाद अगर वो नेग्लिजेंस हो या नॉट नेग्लिजेंस हो, you have to pay. If there is any deterioration or destruction of goods after the due date, then the bailee is liable to compensate the bailor, right? So Shaw versus Simmons करके एक बहुत बहुत फेमस केस है, which is again on book binding stuff. So this is a very classic famous case of Shaw versus Simmons, जहाँ delay हो गया था, उसके बाद whether whatever be the reason why the goods got destroyed and all that, the bailee is supposed to compensate the bailer, right? So that is as per section 161. So the bailer can take necessary action against the bailee. Now coming to the last point on rights का last point लिख लेते हैं. पता नहीं इस रेड पेन में ज्यादा खराब हैंडराइटिंग हो रही है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग माय हैंडराइटिंग इज गुड, बट दिस इज हैपनिंग वर्स इफ आई एम टेकिंग अप अ रेड पेन. बट let us have our hopes pinned on, quite literally, on the black pen. Now, so natural accretion section 163 भाई ये देख लेते हैं. section 163 ये बहुत प्यारा है. नेचुरल accretion right. Now let us put a case over here. Let us say केस पहले करते हैं, बड़ा मजा आ जाएगा. नेचुरल अक्रीशन बाद में समझा दूंगा, एक बार में समझ में आ जाएगा. विल टेक 2 केसेस. तो पहले लेते हैं मिस्टर आयुष, नहीं मिस्टर गौतम ले लेते हैं. आयुष would be now wondering why my name is taken and not taken, not I am not appointed to the case. चलो लिख लेते हैं बस मिस्टर आयुष. So let us say Mr. Gautam has a donkey, right? उसके पास एक गधा है, लिटरल सच वाला, right? And Mr. Gautam is going to, let us say, New York घूमने के लिए, right? तो मियाँ बीवी बच्चे समेत सब घूमने जा रहे हैं. Everyone is going, the entire family is going, husband, wife and children to New York, and he is worried about his donkey. So he hands over the donkey to Ayush, right, for 2 months, right? Now again आपने पढ़ा था gratuitous bailment. तो डोंकी को रख गया संभालने के लिए. आयुष प्लीज टेक केयर ऑफ द डोंकी. ग्रेट. तो Ayush, good friend of Gautam, takes care of donkey. Now after Gautam returns, after, very interesting case, after Gautam returns from, कहाँ से भाई, न्यूयॉर्क से. Ayush hands over the donkey to Gautam. तो इसमें क्या इंटरेस्टिंग है? But the interesting part is, meanwhile during such 2 months, ठीक है, the donkey gave a child, birth to a child, right? तो छोटा donkey मिला था. Now during that time the donkey had a baby. तो we have a छोटा donkey in place, right? Now stop laughing and start concentrating on what I'm saying. Gautam came to know about it. Gautam demanded the donkey and the baby donkey, छोटा donkey, Ayush gave the donkey, but he denied to give the chota donkey, the baby donkey, right? So Ayush was not ready to part away with the younger donkey, right? Stop laughing. I know you would be laughing your stomachs out, right, and heart out. Now over here, and probably your lungs out. Now over here, Gautam demanded the donkey, and the baby donkey, but Ayush detained the baby donkey, said isko chhod do, actual donkey ko le jao. So over here, can the bailor demand, अब यहाँ क्या लिखा हुआ है, सेक्शन बिजनेस पे आते हैं, एकदम धंधे पे, चलो चुप हो जाओ. Now natural accretion, it says, so if when there is goods bailed by the bailor to the bailee during such period of bailment, if there is any profit or accretion that is accrued in the bailed commodity, needs to be given back to the bailor by the bailee. अर्थात कवि क्या कहना चाहता है, कवि कहना चाहता है जो भी इसमें से बेनिफिट मिला हो रिटर्न हो जाना चाहिए. एक बार लिख लेते हैं. नाउ during the period of bailment, if there is any profit or accretion in the goods so bailed, then the bailee needs to return back such benefit to the bailor, राइट. तो अगर कोई बेनिफिट मिला है तो बेलर को रिटर्न कर देना है. ठीक है. तो ऑब्वियसली ओवर हियर Ayush has to give back the baby donkey to Gautam because as per the law it belongs to Gautam and not to Ayush, right? So Ayush, you cannot keep it. चलो अब हंसना बंद करते हैं और काम पे ध्यान देते हैं. Now there is another example that I would like to take on natural accretion. Let us take up an example number 2. Example number 2, ये बहुत ही फेमस केस है, मोतीलाल हरी भाई वर्सेस बाई मनी. I'll just write the case over here if you want to refer it. मोतीलाल हरी भाई, जहां तक मुझे याद है ये हुआ था मुंबई हाई कोर्ट में, पहले उसको बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट में हम लोग बोलते थे. वी बहुत फेमस है बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट फॉर इट्स डिसीजंस, वंडरफुल डिसीजंस. मोतीलाल हरी भाई वर्सेस बाई मनी, राइट. हुआ क्या था इसमें, बड़ा सिंपल सा केस है. लेट अस से देयर इज वन मिस्टर एक्स, राइट. ही गिव्स सर्टेन शेयर्स टू मिस्टर वाई. ये प्लेज का केस था. Pledge is nothing but a special kind of bailment, right? So Mr. X gave, let us say 100 shares, right? कोई भी कंपनी TCS लगा दो, to Mr. Y, right? For a period of 6 months. After the bailment period was over, Mr. Y gave back only 100 shares. बोलोगे सर 100 दिया है तो 100 ही रिटर्न मिलेगा, how much will you get return? No, I should get more. Reason is Mr. X gave 100 shares to Mr. Y. During such period of 6 months, the firm issued certain bonus shares. Is it the natural profit that is accrued during the period of bailment? The answer is yes. So, Mano, let us say there was one share that was issued for every 5 held bonus shares. So, 20 bonus shares add होके आना चाहिए था. I should have got, Mr. X over here should have got 120 shares. So can he claim 120 shares? The answer is yes. Not 100 but 100 plus 20, 120 shares. So ये भी एक example, classic example हो गया natural accretion. That is one of the rights of the bailor, that the bailor can demand राइट। तो एक बार पढ़ लेते हैं। ड्यूरिंग पीरियड ऑफ बेलमेंट, सियाराम, देखो, राइट, ड्यूरिंग द पीरियड ऑफ बेलमेंट, if there is any profit or accretion in the goods so bailed, then the bailee needs to return back such benefit to the bailor। चलिए ये हो गया 163। एक बार जल्दी 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 से पूरा लिस्ट रिवाइज कर लेते हैं। राइट्स ऑफ बेलर, पहला क्या था भाई? पहला था नेग्लिजेंस, राइट। So section 151 says if due to negligence on part of the bailee the bailor suffers a loss, then the bailee is responsible to make गुड सच लॉस। तो नेग्लिजेंस की वजह से जो भी हुआ था, याद है हॉस्पिटल एंड ज्वेलरी वाला केस, वहां भी आयुष फंसे थे। नाउ वी गो लिटिल हेड 153 टर्मिनेशन फॉर अनऑथोराइज्ड यूज, यहाँ मिस्टर सुनील और मेरा केस हो गया था, राइट। 154 which was linked that damages can be claimed in case the goods there is unauthorized use of goods and there is any damage caused to the goods due to such unauthorized use। now 156 157 156 में मिक्सिंग अप किया था, राइट, विदाउट द कंसेंट एंड द गुड्स वर सेपरेबल, then the cost of separation is to be borne by the bailee। और यहाँ 157 में if the goods cannot be separated then the entire cost of the goods has to be paid by the bailee। So 159 premature termination of contract, gratuitous bailment, राइट। यहाँ हमने क्या सीखा था? दो बातें सीखी, राइट्स एज वेल एज ड्यूटीज। राइट, राइट क्या है? टू कैंसिल द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ड्यूटी फॉर एनी डेट्रीमेंट सफर्ड बाय द bailee in case of premature termination of gratuitous bailment। So then we go on to 161, the bailee needs to return the goods back to the bailor on the completion of the said task।